Those who don't know me, I'm Rob. I'm the snake catcher in Leeupoort. A bit of my background: I am not a professional snake catcher. I'm not a professional lecturer. I've been dealing and handling snakes for 52 years, so I think I've got a bit of experience. My initial tutoring when I was 15, 16 years old came from a herpetologist. I spent 4 years with him handling the snakes in his area, cleaning tanks obviously, and learning about snakes. So for 4 years was my basic training, which is more than a lot of people get. I had 2 trainers, they were both experts, so my initial training was very good. From there I went to the army. I did my military in Hoedspruit in Mpumalanga. My military consisted of catching snakes. I was catching there 10, 15 snakes a day. Very busy. So I know how to catch snakes. And identification of snakes, I am pretty good. Not 100%. It is extremely difficult, as you'll see during the course. Just a bit of background. In South Africa, we have 176 different species of snake. All right. Of those 176 species, 20 of them are what they call deadly. I disagree with him, but that is the stats. So you've got 20, I'm going to call it poisonous snakes, I'm not allowed to, poisonous snakes. Then you've got 30 who are semi or mildly poisonous. Why I'm saying I mustn't use the word poison, because poison is something you drink and makes you sick or you die. A snake is not poisonous. There are no poisonous snakes on earth. Snakes are venomous. But I'm going to stay with the poisonous because it's the layman's way of explaining it. Then there are 126 snakes that are what we call harmless. Your house snakes, your blind snakes, stuff like that. So that's quite a lot of snakes. In Leeupoort, our little farm here, we have 115 of those 176 snakes. Okay. Of those, we have 8 poisonous. I disagree with that again. I'll explain it to you a little bit better just now. And we have, let me try the figures again, 27 that are mildly poisonous and 70 that are nothing to worry about. Okay, so we've got a lot of snakes here. When they talk about poisonous snakes, they're talking about for our snakes here, I called it 8 because it's the black mamba, the spitting cobra, the snouted cobra, which is the old Egyptian cobra, the boomslang, the vine twig snake, then you get the puff adder, the night adder, and the stiletto. The stiletto is the old burrowing adder. If you ever were involved, it's the old burrowing adder that's changed to a stiletto now. So those are the 8, let's call it poisonous snakes. Out of those snakes, 5 of them are capable of killing you, which is the black mamba, the snouted cobra, the spitting cobra, the boomslang, and the twig snake. The others will not kill you. And in fact, if I can give you, in South Africa, we have 4,000 bites, recorded bites, per year. Of those 4,000 bites, 800 of them are hospitalized. Of the 800 hospitalized, only 10 to 12 die. This is now recorded bites. You must remember there are very remote areas around, so you don't know exactly how many bites there are. And of the deaths, you don't know if it was a guy that had been bitten by a cobra and lay in the shack for a week before he got reported. So the deaths are very few and far between. Antivenom, only 10% of hospitalized patients get antivenom. It's between 10 and 12%, somewhere around there, get actual antivenom. The treatment for snakebite has changed altogether. There's not a case of you just get injected with the antivenom. They can kill you. So that's just a little bit of a background to...
So how do they treat you?
Symptomatically. It's the same as what I would do here if you got bitten. Sit you down, watch you. What's your reactions? Is there pain? Are your eyelids starting to fall? Are you starting to lose breath? Then I'd know it's a mamba or it's a cobra. They do it symptomatically. It's very, very dangerous to inject venoms. A vial of venom, of polyvalent venom, which is the general one that you can buy and use it at home if you want to, but don't do it, costs you 2,130 Rand a vial. It's for 10 milliliters. They use between 8 and 10 vials per snake bite if they were to use that. So you look at the money. Now, if you're bitten by a mamba and they inject you with the antivenom for mambas, that's 6,800 Rand a vial. So don't get bitten by a snake, isn't it? Break your medical aid. Okay, that's just a little bit of background on the poisons and what we've got in Leeupoort. Getting down to the snakes. Are there any questions, anybody? You can stop me at any time, please. I do tend to jump around quite a lot. I haven't got a curriculum, so...
The green mamba?
Yes.
I thought that was also dangerous.
We don't get them here. It's only in Natal.
Okay, and the vine snake?
The vine? Vine snake. Yes, we do get them. Yeah, I have caught a few.
Is he?
Yes, we are here.
He's dead.
The vine snake and the boomslang are hemotoxic snakes. So in other words, what happens is you start bleeding. If you've got a sore, it'll start bleeding. You start bleeding out your nose. Your body bleeds outside of the veins. So you look like you're bruised. Years ago, the first thing to do was blood transfusion. Now they have developed a antivenom for the boomslang. The vine snake, not. The two snakes, are similar. The poison are similar, but they're not the same. So they cannot use the boomslang's antivenom for the bird snake. So the bird snake is still reasonably scary. The boomslang is not aggressive. If you know what you're doing, you can actually catch a boomslang with your hand out of the tree, no problem. It won't bite you. What they do, they blow up. Like a cobra will make a hood, the boomslang and the vine snake blows its neck up, showing all its colors and stuff. If it does that, I suggest you walk away. It's cross. It's going to bite you. Another little thing about the boomslang and vine snake, they are both back-fanged. When I say back-fanged, it's a bit of an ugly photo, but I'm just going to go around quickly. You can just have a quick look. That is a back-fang. That's your mambas and cobras, and that's your puff adder. Okay? So that's your back-fang, that's your boomslang, that's your mambas and cobras, and your puff adder. Okay? Back-fang snake. So the fang basically sits behind the eye, your cobras and mambas, and your puff adder. Okay, here's your boomslang. Cobras and mambas, and puff adder. Right, the length of the teeth on a boomslang is about 2.5 millimeters. Just little teeth like that. On your cobras and mambas, they run about 5 to 6 millimeters. On your puff adder, it runs up to 10 to 12 millimeters. So it's quite a big tooth on the puff adder. Getting back to the boomslang, people are under the impression that because the fangs are at the back, it can only bite you on the finger. A boomslang and vine snake will bite you in the chest. It'll bite this table. It can flatten its mouth 180 degrees. It can bite you anywhere. So don't think you keep your hands away. He'll bite you. They're not aggressive, but it is capable of biting you anyway. Where we are, boomslang. The other snakes that we get here, Egg eaters and night adders. Two very, very different snakes, but they look exactly the same. Very, very difficult to tell apart for the non-experienced eye, put it that way. Even myself, I look twice before I pick up a snake that looks like either one of the two of them. The night adder has got a very dark V, starting between the eyes, facing backwards. Again, not always. 99.9% of the time it has got a dark V pointing back. The egg eaters have got a couple of V's pointing back. So that is basically the only, well, not the only, to the trained eye you'll be able to see it. I'll show you the pictures here. But that is basically the difference. So if you do, and it's a small snake, it's only 17 centimeters long. So if you do see something like that in the wild, don't go and pick it up. What I normally do, the easiest, yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. What I say to people, if you do find snakes that look like that, there's not many of them here. The puff adder looks very similar, but the puff adder is a lot thicker. If you do find something that you think could be an egg eater or a night adder, take a stick and tease the thing. Yeah, tease it. Tell you why. The egg eater has got very coarse scales. It's a keeled scale, what they call a keeled scale. So what the egg eater does is it coils up and it runs through itself. So the scales rub on each other and it sounds like it's hissing. So you will think it's hissing at you, and it will strike out furiously. It's very aggressive. It will strike out at you. The mouth is pitch black. It flattens its head. It makes a big mouth like a puff adder, and it strikes out at you, but it won't bite you. Because if it bites you, you're going to find it's got no teeth. It's got none. It's got serrations. It only eats eggs. Yeah. So that is the easiest way to distinguish. The night adder has a very smooth, shiny skin, and it'll disappear. It also picks up a bit of a fight, but it hasn't got the black mouth, and it'll disappear. The egg eater will stand its ground, and it'll scream at you, and it'll hiss, and it'll, well, coil, and yeah. Okay, so that was the night adder, egg eater.
Sorry, but you got bitten a while ago.
Yes.
What bit you, night adder?
No. That was the old burrowy adder, what is now called the stiletto. Again, there I am, 50 years of experience. First bite. It was bad, it was very bad. I got bitten in extension 1. I drove from there to here, got my wallet, got my wife, and tried to drive to Tabazimbi. I passed out just other side Kuduskop. By the time I got here, my arm was like this. I couldn't close my fingers. Bit me there. I should have lost the thumb. That is normally what happens with the stiletto. But I was lucky. There's too much whiskey in my blood, the poison couldn't go through.
Where was that there? Extension 1 is like Heath and Erica,
Yeah. No. That's A proper A.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Extension 1 is Alepaiki,
Yeah.
there at the top.
Oh, okay.
Lot of snakes there. Lot of snakes there.
A lot of wood.
Yeah.
Now, what had happened? Did you go to the hospital then
I was in ICU for 2 days.
in the Tabazimbi? So they can treat you?
Oh yes, they're very good. The clinic is very good. Very good.
Snake is still unconscious.
Yeah, the snake. I see him every now and again, he wobbles around. Yeah.
Where's Rob? I need Rob. Snake with a huge hangover.
The common snake, no, maybe I should just start on the, like I said to you, the poisonous snakes, the mambas, the cobras. Mambas and cobras tend to have a permanent residence. So they don't just, like all the other snakes would pop in at your house tonight and next night they're somewhere else. The cobras and the mambas and the python normally have a fixed abode. So if you do see a cobra or a mamba more than twice, start looking around your garden. It's very possible that it's close to you. The mamba, when it goes out hunting, it will go out on that road and it will come back on that road. I've been in the veld where black mambas walked over my feet because that's his road. I'm staying in his road. It's like a taxi. Doesn't bother out. He stays there. So slightly back. Snakes do not attack you. Snakes will not just bite you. They cannot afford to bite you. They cannot eat you, and they cannot afford to waste their venom. The venom yield in a cobra, a black mamba, is around about 100 to 200 milligrams. It takes 50 to 90 milligrams to kill you. He's not going to waste that much venom on you, simply because he can't eat you. A snake can give you a dry bite, so don't think you've been bitten by a mamba, you're going to die. He can control the amount of venom that he ejects, either all of it or none. So don't panic. The gaboon adder is quite a nice one. That one has, I think it was 600 milliliters. We don't get them here, just buy it. This is just a bit of info. It's about 600 milliliters in its glands.
And the mamba has?
The black mamba, where we now? 100 to 200. But the black mamba only needs 10 to 20 milligrams to kill you. So it is a very poisonous snake. The cobras, the puff adders, the gaboon adder, Egyptian cobras. Egyptian cobra is the most poisonous out of the two cobras, at also 15 to 20. The others are high, 40, 50, 90, 100. So it takes a lot of venom. I don't know, you guys have been to the snake park and watched them milking the snakes? Once that snake has been milked, now when they milk them, they practically drain those glands. That snake goes into a box for a week to recover after that. A snake, if it had to bite you angrily, uses the same amount of energy that you use to have sex. So he's not going to waste his energy. He needs to catch animals. They are tired after that. So they're not going to just bite you for fun. It's not like a dog that'll just walk past and give you a bite. The cobras, like I said, they got permanent abodes, so do look out for that if you do see them often. There is no way that you keep snakes away from your house. Don't go along with all this. There's J's fluid things and there's anti-snake snake repellent stuff. It does not work. I have tried it. I've taken the stuff that the guys have made. I've bought the stuff that they sell in the shops. It does not work. There is nothing, and I can show it to you in the books, there is nothing that deters a snake. The best thing is keep the garden clean, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. That's all. That's the best stuff I can tell you, really. There is no way to stop it. They live here.
Is it true that if you make a lot of noise, they'll hear you coming in?
No. Alright, we can get onto that. A snake is not blind, but it sees us as humans. It sees as shadows. Okay, but you can imagine, you've seen some of these snakes around here, how fast they move. If he was blind, he'd be bumping into rock and stone and tree. So they're not blind, they can see, but very limited vision. So like a lot of say, how does the spitting cobra know to spit you in your eyes? He doesn't. It's movement, and he just spits in that direction. The spitting cobra, by the way, 2 to 2.5 meters, depending on the size of the snake, but 2 to 2.5 meters it can spit. Just getting back to that, the spitting cobra, we do get, according to the map, we do get wrinkles here. I've never seen one, but the spitting cobra can spit from any angle. All it does is just lift its lips and spits. No problem at all. The rinkhals has to propel its venom. And a rinkhals is the most stupid snake on earth. I used to tease mine. Tease him like that and put my hand on the table like this and do that, and he comes. And all he does is move your hand and eats the table. When I used to feed them, I used to take the rat or mouse, I had to knock it out and then put it in the tank. Otherwise the rat eats the snake. How they do? They eat the snakes out. So it's a very stupid snake. Dangerous, obviously, the same poison as a cobra. The spitting cobra's poison is different. It is a neurotoxic, cytotoxic venom. Your cytotoxic is like the puff adder, where you rot, causes necrosis. So it is a horrible, horrible bite. Treatable. You won't die. A lot of people are scared when they get bitten, they got to get to the hospital in 10 minutes and all that. Nonsense. Nonsense. Again, it actually depends on the bite. If a snake has just bitten you because you walked past, I'll say you've got at least an hour, even a black mamba, to get to the hospital. Don't panic, but you have got enough time to get to the hospital. If a decent size, let's say a 3-meter mamba, had to bite me while I'm catching it, I wouldn't make that back door. I'd be out. So there are differences. Me catching the snake, I'm under a lot more threat than you are just being bitten walking past it. So, and 90% of snakes will run away from you, believe me. They're so scared of you. You're their biggest threat. Snakes in general, a lot of people are against snakes, it's the demon thing and all that. Snakes do a lot of good work. They control all your rodents. They control snakes. Snakes eat snakes. Cobras are very fond of puff adders, which is, I don't know why puff adders, maybe because they're too slow to run away and it's easy to catch. Venoms of different snakes don't affect other snakes. The file snake is totally harmless, but it eats poisonous snakes. So the venom of snakes to snake doesn't do anything.
Is there any, sorry, Ron,
Yeah?
is there any biological reason for that in the...
I honestly couldn't tell you. I haven't gone into it. I don't know. I just know that the cobras, the mambas eat the cobras eat the mambas.
I've seen that
Yeah.
on TV, but it's always fascinating.
Why?
You know?
Why it doesn't, I don't know. I don't know. A little while ago, at Alex's house, he had a little brown house snake there, which we left. And a little while later, he phoned me. Yeah, a spitting cobra came along and grabbed the brown house snake. Now, the brown house snake is a constrictor. So there was this cobra biting the brown house snake, and the brown house snake was constricting the cobra. It obviously died because of the poison to the brown house snake will probably kill it. I don't know how, but whatever. But there, the two of them were having a tussle. And funnily enough, about a month later, on my snakes and snake bite thing, there was a cobra being squeezed and they both died. The brown house snake and the cobra both died. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know.
I swallowed that brown house snake.
I actually brought him home in the bag, the cobra and the brown house snake. Now normally, when you disrupt him like that, if he's eaten it, he will regurgitate the prey. If he's eaten some, he'll spit it out.
Yeah.
And I put them here in the bag, and the next morning I got here, the snake was gone. He'd eaten it. So he must have been bloody hungry to go and carry on eating it.
Is it in your house?
No, in the garden. In the snake tank there. In Jean's snake tank.
Can I just ask you
Yes.
something? So I'm working in the garden and a snake bites me. I don't know what it is. What do I do? Do I go to hospital? What do I do?
It's a very difficult question to answer. First of all, I would say sit down for 2 seconds. Have a look at it. Pain will be your first tell story. These little house snakes and stuff like that, you'll feel no pain, nothing will happen, it'll maybe a drop of blood. All the other 76 snakes that we've got here, nothing will happen. So I would say sit down, watch yourself, preferably that place where it bit, just elevate it, and just sit calmly. If you start, yeah, no, I know, very easy to say. I wouldn't be able to sit still. Don't you worry. Yeah, stay as calm as possible. Elevate that limb, and just sit. If you start feeling a burning sensation, or you start seeing it swelling, get in your, or don't get in your car. Get somebody to drive you. Then I would say go to hospital. They will sit you down there. They'll watch you. It's pointless you calling me and I'm going to sit and watch you. By the time I've watched you, it'll be too late to get to hospital. So,
and from here, Tabazimbi is probably the closest one.
Tabazimbi is the closest, and it's very good. Sorry?
You just phone the clinic.
The clinic. You don't have to phone nobody. You just pitch. They're there all the time. They're ready for you. Mediclinic. No, Mediclinic. Government hospital is just as good for snake bite. They are just as good. Their doctors are there. I just went to the Mediclinic because the medical aid covers it. So. But yeah, you don't have to phone nothing. You can just tell them you're on your way. You just go.
And how do they know what snake bit you?
Exactly like I said to you. If you had to sit in front of me long enough, I'll tell you what snake bit you. I know the symptoms, and I know which snake will give you what symptoms. So I'll be able to say, it's like when Cobus got bitten. The doctor phoned me because I hadn't found the snake. So I didn't know what had bitten him, but I assumed it was one of the two cobras. And he phoned me and he crapped me out because I didn't know what snake it was. I said, I can't find the thing. But anyway, because he's diabetic as well, so it's very critical to get that antivenom into him if something happens. Like for diabetics, they will, they'll inject you. So yeah. But normally you'd find a shortness of breath because most of them are neurotoxic. Even the spitting cobra, it's more cyto, but you'll also start getting, it'll burn you. You'll start swelling. The adders, you'll start swelling up. It'll burn. If it starts burning, move. Yeah. So there's no such thing. I'll show you. I've got quite a few myths here that are quite interesting. But yeah, try as best possible to stay calm. That is the biggest. People panic and start walking around. You don't want your blood flow to increase. Elevate it. If you've got a crepe bandage or something like that, even like I said, your shirt, you can bandage it from the bite all the way up, on the foot all the way up, reasonably tight. Now that's where the problem comes in. If you haven't got the right bandage, you can cut the blood flow. You're causing more damage than anything else. So rather just elevate it. What I carry a splint in my rucksack when I go walking. Splint it so you don't even move the elbow or the knee. Make it solid, don't move it. Limp if you have to walk, but as little movement in that limb as possible. That's the best advice I can give you. I'm not a doctor. They will treat it, like I say, symptomatically. So you haven't got a death from a snake is not common, really not common.
Are snakes wary of mongoose?
I'd say yes and no. The banded mongoose is not a big snake catcher. The slender mongoose is the snake boy. Banded mongoose they killed my spitting cobra here, which I was rather peed off about. But yeah, they do kill them. I wouldn't say they're wary of them. I think it's just another animal. I think they're wary of any other animal. I mean, they bite buck, and a buck can't do anything. So I'm sure they are wary about what goes on around them. Like we were talking about just now. Sorry, I'll veer off again. Snakes can see. Boomslang and vine snake can almost see as well as you and I. They've got very good vision. Those are the only two snakes that can actually see. They say they've got binocular vision. So those are the only two snakes that can actually see you and what you're about. The rest of the snakes is just shadows. Sense of smell and hearing. Yeah, snakes have got no ears. Although there is some talk that they have got an inner ear which picks up vibrations from the ground through their lower jaw. I'm not going to elaborate on that. I'm not sure of it. So, but smell their tongue. When they put their tongue out of their mouth and they flick it around and it goes back into their mouth, it goes into 2 holes in the top of their mouth. That's called the Jacobson's organ. That then dissects what the tongue has picked up. It'll pick up temperature and smell. So they say that snakes can basically smell what you and I can smell. So yeah, in that case, it probably can smell the mongoose. Again, that I don't know.
So if you have a lot of mongoose in your yard, it's a good thing.
My mongoose come to my house and every day. They walk right through my house. They go under every cupboard. Because when I first moved in here, I had a hell of a lot of scorpions. 10, 20 a day. So they go through my house, they clean out everything, they go around my garden. I get a bit knocked because they take out all my scorpions out the garden and they eat my snakes. So yeah, but yeah, I like them. Yeah, they're good to have.
Sorry, you said you had that snake, that cobra. Would you have just left it under your thing?
It was right there. There were the boxes. There were the steps of the kitchen come down.
Yeah.
Right at the tip of the step. There used to be a pipe in the ground there. I don't know what it was for. And he used to stay in there. Come out in the morning. He's got his head out. He's looking at you. Walk
Did you
past.
move him then?
No, why? I'm not scared of him.
No, you're not worried when one day get. But
No.
you move it from someone else's house.
Yeah. Look, all poisonous snakes, I do. If I can get a hold of it, I will move it. I would never leave a poisonous snake in your yard. It's too. You don't know snakes.
Release them in the
I
reserve.
take them and I take them away. Yeah.
Where to? Up in the reserve or
A lot
somewhere
of
else?
in the beginning, a lot of the snakes I take out 200-300 meters in the bush. Yeah. Lately, I've been taking them up to the western fence and the eastern fence, and I let them through into the next door neighbour's farm. In 2021 was my worst year. A snake season is around about 5 to 6 months. Starting September, October, goes through to March, April. Normal. This is Leeupoort. Snake season is 24 months a year. Okay. That year, I caught 117 cobras and mambas. I'm not even counting the little grass snakes and other rubbish that I catch. I only count the poisonous snakes that I catch. I don't count the grass snakes and stuff like that. It's pointless to me. But 117 in one season. It's a hell of a lot of snakes. So then I started taking like the black mambas and the big cobras. And that year, by the way, I caught no babies. All of them adults. It was I contacted ASI, I couldn't get an answer out of them. They couldn't tell me why all of a sudden that year was it so bad. But the bigger snakes, I'd get in the car and I'd take them down to the farm, 2 farms down, or I'd drive them far away.
So don't argue with Rob. Don't initiate.
I do keep a few spare here for people that I don't like.
So typically most of the people who have been bitten, are they trying to catch the snake, or is the snake, is it a chance that they're going to grab the snake or they're trying to catch a branch or something like that?
Yes, very possible.
What's the,
It's very difficult to say. 90% of the snakes that I catch here in Leeupoort, I catch in the houses. I tend not to catch a snake that's lying there in the bush. That's his house. He lives here. He was here first. If it's a poison snake, then I will remove it, obviously. But mostly I prefer to leave them. If they're in the bush, they're going to disappear. If it's a black mamba or cobra that I know has got a permanent residence somewhere there, I will remove it. In fact, the cobras and mambas I will remove anyway. I will not leave it there. But like I say, most of the snakes that I catch in the houses. That's your grass snakes, your cobras, your mambas. Puff adders, not so much in the house. I think they're too lazy to climb up the stairs. I don't know. But coming back to puff adders, like I said, cobras and eat puff adders. Prior to 2021, I had never caught a puff adder yet on Leeupoort. I'd never seen one. I'd heard of people who had caught them or seen them, but I myself had never been called out for a puff adder to catch or whatever. After 2021, it was actually the end of 2020. 2020, when I say 2021, it's 2020, 2021, that season when I caught all those snakes. End of 2021, puff adders started picking up all over the place. So, dickhead, I have removed the control of puff adders by removing the cobras, interfering with nature.
Unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to show you a couple of photographs. If any snake had to bite me, I would prefer it to be a black mamba. I do not want to be bitten by a puff adder. You will not die.
Will not do well.
You will not do well. That is 24 to 36 hours after the bite, and that is another 24 hours later. So that's, we're talking about 3 days, and that's what you look like. This, I want to remember another time.
I know he's meeting.
That there is a bite on the tip of the finger. They amputated the tip of the finger 6 weeks later. Yes. I'll come around now, just going to get the next page so you can... This poor guy got bitten on the finger. 9 months of hospitalization and they amputated the finger. So it's a nice bite. If you want to get bitten by something, that's the one to choose. Right, this is the tip of the finger. Just one tooth in the tip of the finger. 6 weeks later they amputated. That is 24 to 36 hours after the bite. Yeah, well, I took a woman hiking one day over the road here. It's a fantastic hiking area. But it's rough terrain. It takes me, if I walk from here to the waterfalls and back again, it takes me 12 hours. So it's quite a walk. You go over 3 mountains, still in our property. And I took a woman up there one day.
Where's that? By the Pootie there?
Yeah.
Does it take so long to walk there? Other people say, oh, you just go for a walk down there.
No. To walk to the end of our farm. To walk to the other side of our farm takes 12 hours.
Really?
From here.
Sure.
You go over 3 mountains, 2,500 meters each. Oh, it's a walk. It's not a stroll. No. It's not a stroll.
Yeah.
And she said to me, because I was telling you, we've actually come across mambas up there. Because myself and my neighbour, we know this bush. I'll tell you a couple of stories there. But she said to me, Rob, what happens if we get bitten by a mamba here? I said, you know what, I'm going to make love to you until we die, because I'm not going to make it home. That's the end of the story. You will not make it home. Because you're going to be climbing, you're going to push the blood pressure up, you're not going to make it. So yeah. Listen, it sounds horrible, but your chances of getting bitten by a snake is... You got more chance of an aeroplane falling on your head while you're sitting here. Really. Really. When I first got here, I used to walk this bush flat. We used to go sleep in the mountains on the other side. You got more chance of a leopard eating you here. And there are leopards here. So, don't be scared by snakes. I know it's very difficult. Like I said to the guys yesterday, after you've sat here and listened to me, you are not going to be a snake catcher and you're not going to know snakes. I'm just trying to make you a little bit more wary of where we stay. We do stay in the middle of their territory. They are here, we cannot get rid of them. We don't want to get rid of them. You'll have a plague of rats here that you can't believe. And we've got rats here. So you're living in the bush, stay awake. And don't think in winter they hibernate. Leeupoort, we don't have a winter.
No.
Snakes copulate in spring. They are born 7 to 9 weeks later. Have you ever seen a spring in Leeupoort? We don't have spring, we have winter, summer.
No, it was between 8 o'clock and...
Yeah, something like that. They've got to be quick. So yes, our winters are hot. A snake's body temperature, ideal body temperature, is 32 degrees. In winter we sit at 30 degrees. In summer we're at 40 plus. We're at 30 at 12 o'clock at night. So a snake doesn't have to hibernate here. So winter and summer, they are more dormant in winter. So
A question I'm scared to find the answer out for.
no, there's no.
We have a thatch roof house.
Yeah.
What's it? Any issues with thatch?
Your biggest problem with a thatched roof house here is your squirrels and your nachappies. Simply, why that's a threat is that is snake food. So you're actually attracting the snakes. I don't know if you've seen around a lot of the companies nowadays, they're building these, not building, you buy them. It's a plastic box, the rat deterrent or something. They put poison in there for the rats. They are supposed to, what do you call it? Man, I've lost the word now. Keep track of that. How many rats come into, it's a population count. It's not a thing to kill rats. Now, the snakes have found out, wait a minute, that's where the rats go.
Take the waves.
So you're putting rat things out and you're just drawing the snakes to your factory. So,
People put stuff out that kill these little squirrels.
Wait, yeah,
yeah,
Our squirrels come in our house and ask for peanuts. Now imagine if somebody put some in their roof and they kill the squirrel.
yeah.
there are a lot of people
There's a lot of
Look, it is a problem.
monitors, monitors.
Yeah, yeah. Talking about monitors in the roof, I can't anymore, but I advise you to leave him in the roof. It does deter the squirrels. You don't want squirrels in your roof. Squirrels are very destructive. They eat the branding, they eat your wires. They are very destructive. They're very cute. I've got thousands of them here, but they live under my solar panels and all over, but very bad for in your roof. The leghorn will keep him out. Our biggest leghorn here, not in Leeupoort, is the rock monitor. It only grows to a maximum of 1.5 meters, tail and all. It weighs about 1.5 to 2 kilograms. It cannot go through your ceiling. I've been through houses where the monitor has fallen through the ceiling. Very shit workmanship. You find a nail there and a nail there and a nail there and the ceiling falls out. Now they blame the leghorn. And I've seen it. I went to a house quite a while ago where the leghorn toilet was an area like that, size of my table. Well, one ceiling panel width, about that thick.
So he was there for long.
He's been there for ages. Well, they do. It's a permanent house for them as well. I went inside. I couldn't see a mark on the ceiling. I had these chalk ceilings. A leghorn feces is very similar to a snake's. If you look around your houses, you've got geckos. You see a little droliki with a little white tip. Now that little white tip is the urine. It solidifies. It is initially wet, but it solidifies. So it's not that he stands there and wets the ceiling. So, and it dries up, it dries to nothing. So it can't do damage. So don't get rid of the leghorns. I've got a couple here. I'll keep them. And go drop the couple
as I
by
said
you.
Yesterday I've got one.
Yeah.
Just for living under my window. You hear him, he makes a noise sometimes.
Yes.
He actually comes out at night. He's come out a couple of times during the day
Mm.
and look into the house and so on, but he's okay.
Yeah, no,
they
they
can't
absolutely,
really-
yeah, they don't do anything.
Yeah.
A leghorn can bite. It's got lockjaw, unfortunately, so you'll have to sit there and wait until he decides to open his mouth. Don't try and pry it open, you won't. An old, the stainless steel Parker pens. I had a mate of mine get bitten. I bent that Parker pen in his jaw. He couldn't get that jaw open. So just sit there, he'll decide when he wants to go. The thing that he whips you with his tail, yes he does. It's like a feather duster really. It cannot hurt you, it does not draw blood.
Shamble.
It's not even a shamble. No, you won't even feel it. You won't even feel it. Really, it's absolutely no pain. So don't, if you want to catch him, put your hands down behind his back, grab him. 90% of the time he'll fade death. I caught one, I was actually walking with it back And I walked past Alex's house here, and we sat there and had a chat, and they said, no, they want it. So I leaned over the fence and I put it down, and we were standing here like this talking. And we must have spoken for what, half an hour? And that thing lay right there, dead. I don't know how long. Yeah, don't pick me up again. So they're absolutely, they're not harmful. So yeah, leave them in the yard. I just want to come back to the snakes. Most snakes are nocturnal. The black mamba is a day hunter. It's your diurnal. But the cobras and the most snakes that I say are nocturnal will hunt during the day, especially here where it's so hot. So a lot of the rules that are in the books don't apply to Limpopo, basically. It's too warm. Limpopo, the top of Mpumalanga, those rules don't always apply. The younger cobras hunt in the day. So don't think that you mustn't walk around at night. You mustn't walk around in the day either. So there is no hard and fast rule of when it's going to hunt or when it's alive, when it's going. So don't work on those.
Luckily they're not hunting for us, they're hunting for the squirrel.
Yeah. We spoke yesterday about it. I find it very difficult to understand how people stand on snakes. With their knowledge and that tongue flicking in and out and their vibration, their feeling, they can detect you up to 3 meters. How do you stand on a snake? I cannot answer you. Puff adders, I know, they're too lazy to move. That's the only nice bite that you will receive on a path when you're walking. The rest of the snakes will definitely scatter before you get there. I have had it here with some of my snakes that I've had to step over him, but I think it's more a case of he's just used to me walking up and down. I had a yellow-bellied striped snake in that rock formation there, and I walk from the garage to the Leeupoort often, and he used to lie on top there, watch me go past, watch me come back. Doesn't even run away, but that's getting used to it. My lizards, they'll come and sit here next to me. They're used to you. They do get used to you. Snakes never get tame, they get used to you. So you don't play with snakes, you work with snakes. I'd like you to come and just have a look at the table quickly. Let's come up, say 4-4. The most common snakes that we get here in Leeupoort. Maybe I should do that, otherwise I won't be able to tell you what you're looking at. That one and that one. This is your striped-bellied. This is your striped-bellied sand snake.
Non-poisonous.
Non-poisonous. I'm going to only show you the non-poisonous now. The poisonous ones are down there. So that is non-poisonous. When I say non-poisonous, that one is totally non-poisonous. It's got no venom at all. This one has got venom, but it will have to sit and chew on you for a couple of minutes, and you might get a headache.
Okay.
All right. So
this one likes trees, I take it.
it's they're on the ground. It's an extremely fast snake, and then that one as well, extremely fast. But what I want to show you now is take a look. Let's start over there. Have a look at that one, 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 that one.
Strap. And they say a scarp. Where's the scarpsteker?
They all scarpstickers. The names have changed.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, there are some that have kept the scarpsticker,
Yeah.
but the scarpsticker looks exactly like that.
Yes, that's so confusing.
That's what I'm saying. If you see a snake, for somebody to identify it is impossible. If you see a snake running there, I identify these pretty easily because there are a lot of them and I'm used to them. But for me, if I had to do that, if I took that head away and that head away, how are you going to know which snake it is? So snake identification is extremely difficult. That's why I say, if you pointed at a snake here, I wouldn't tell you what it is. Even with my knowledge, I cannot tell you that. And nobody can, believe me.
We've
So-
got a very big marula tree in the yard. Would any of these snakes be in there?
Most snakes will climb trees. Not that
I mean, do I
snake,
need to look up when I go under the trees?
I'll clarify a bit of that just now, but no. Most of these guys, they call them grass snakes and sand snakes and stuff, they are all tree climbers. All snakes will climb that wall.
Okay, so they could actually climb the wall. And
Easy,
get
easy,
in under
easy.
the patch.
That's it. You cannot stop him. Yes, you can stop him. A lot of work. I can explain that. I'll give you a bit of a tip later, but it's a lot of work. So, like I said, if you look at those couple of snakes, if you see him going there, you are not going to be able to identify it. So,
Leave them alone.
leave him alone. The grass snakes and sand snakes are normally around about 1.5 meters, so they're quite longish, but very thin. Your cobras, your spitting cobra, and if you get it on cast, I'm not going to even talk about that, are also 1.5 meters, but they're a bit thicker.
Yeah.
And the colouring is more bland. So anything with stripes on it, don't take my word for this now, anything with stripes on it or a pattern on it, which is long and thin, is pretty safe.
Okay.
But don't work on that, because you can get things like that, which are poisonous.
Could we have one of those?
No, that's a god. You won't get that.
But now what worries me is that in the year we've been here, I haven't seen a single snake.
That's fine. They're only starting to come. I've only caught one this year so far. So they are still.
Skin snakes.
Yeah.
So that's what worries me. We are that.
Yeah, I know. Look, snakes tour around all the time. They are everywhere, believe me. They are everywhere. Every now and again. I've got a couple here. They stay here some of them stay for like 2 years. Some of them stay for a couple of weeks and they go. But there are snakes everywhere. But like I say, if it's long and thin, you're pretty safe.
But it doesn't mean to say because we haven't seen that they aren't.
No, they're there. They walk around at night. So you know, they do walk around the day. That's why I say it's not a hard and fast rule. But they're not just going to pop in and say hello. Or, no. Yeah. The danger to them is not a problem. I was just trying to show you the variety of snakes that you get. Now, I had a hell of an argument with a woman one day. She said to me she's definitely seen that in her garden. I said to her, if you see that in your garden, I'll buy you a mansion. Because that thing's 99% of its life is underground. But that one, the aurora snake, you will find here. Now, you look at the two photographs. That one looks like it's a bright-coloured, nice snake. This guy also gets bright-coloured. That one gets dull. So, yes, that's one snake, one photograph. I'm going to show you variations in snakes just now.
But the boomslang and the green mamba confuses me because they look the same, just the eye.
I'm going to show you just now. I'm going to show you the green snakes.
Boomslang you get a lot, yeah.
Yeah. Green mamba we don't get. Green mamba we don't get. No. Green mamba's a metal snake.
There's many in KZN.
Yeah. The only green one we get here is the boomslang, the bush snake, and then your water snake. It's also the eastern. Well, we don't get the eastern metal green snake here, but very few green snakes that you'll get confused with. Okay, I'll call you up again just now. Sorry, this is another one. Just have a look at it quickly. Very common here in Leeupoort. It's a tiger snake. Very pretty snake. Also around about 1 meter long. About as thick, maybe that thick. Beautiful snake. Same poison as that. Can do nothing to you. Can do nothing to you.
Oh, nothing.
No, harmless.
I'll try to
Yeah. That
The rule of thumb, thin pattern.
thin patterned, you're pretty safe, but be careful because the vine snake is also 1.5 meters long, thin and deadly.
And you hardly see him when he goes.
If it goes through, you won't see. Yeah. This is a very well camouflaged snake, but it's deadly. So, like I say, it's not really rule of thumb, but it's a nice line to work along. If you find skins, maybe I should touch on that later. Right. You guys want to come and have a quick look?
If I can get out of this.
Are you coming?
This snake here, this is your striped-bellied sand snake. Very common here. You will see lots of them.
Which one?
This one.
That's the one I had that I asked you about.
Okay, and then that is your speckled bush snake.
We saw that as well.
That is also plenty of them here. Now I just want to run a quick thing by you. Have a quick look.
Well, that one is over there and that one's next to you.
But even my trained eye, if a snake went past there, would not be able to tell you exactly which one of those 6 it is.
Yeah.
You see how difficult that is. That's why you cannot expect to come here for 2 hours and know snakes. You will never know it.
No. Go study it.
What I said just now, rule of thumb, not a total rule of thumb though. If it's long, these are all around about 1.5 meters long.
Yeah.
All these snakes, they all run maximum say 1.5 meters.
Yeah.
If it's got stripes on it and it's thin, you got a good chance that it's non-poisonous. It's not rule of thumb, it's just a nice guideline to work along. If it's thin and long, it can be non-poisonous. 90% possibility. Only thing you got to be careful of is the vine snake. It is also 1.5 meters long, also very thin, also got nice little patterns on it, but it's
not
deadly.
stripes, eh?
You mentioned a bird snake earlier on.
That's vine. It's a twig vine bird snake. It's got it's all the same. It's all the same snake.
I saw a lot of those.
No, that's your boom songs.
I saw that in
That's your male and female. Again, I'm going to show you the difference of those. So don't even look at that photograph because a boom song does not look like that.
It's got a big eye.
So this vine.
I'm going to show you just now. I've got drawings of 6 different snakes,
bad,
and you won't know them.
Imagine.
Not to the layman's eye. Put it that way. Eye battle. Believe me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
What is I'm going to show you now? Oh, the vine snake, I did mention that,
That
yes.
vine snake, he doesn't have stripes. Is he
No,
does
it's
he
always
look
patterned like
exactly
that.
that?
I think that's one of the only snakes, oh no, I'm lying, one of these snakes that doesn't have a variation of pattern.
So he's consistently
Consistently
That's what he looks like.
yes. What I showed the previous guys, this guy here as well, also very common in Leeupoort. It's a tiger snake. It has venom, but it might give you a headache after 2 days of eating you. Very pretty snake. It's bright yellow with the black bars on it. It's the only snake that looks like that, so you cannot mistake him. Also, around about 1 meter to 1.5 meters. The most of them that I've caught is just under 1 meter, but a lot of them, yeah. A lot of people have told me they've definitely got that in their garden. I said, if you get that in your garden, I'll buy you that. I'll buy you another house. I'll buy you a mansion. It's an underground snake. 99% of its life is spent underground. But what we do get here is that snake. It's the aurora. The aurora, the coloring, if you look at the aurora now, it's got an orange-yellow stripe on the back, on the spine. This picture now is showing you a dark aurora.
Yeah.
That one is showing you a bright. So that's why I don't use this. I use this chart to show you, but do not try and identify a snake from this chart.
No.
This is just nice for you to see and get an idea. Because if you look, there's your night adder. Yeah, there's your night adder and there's your egg-eater. If you look at those 2 pictures, very different.
Yeah.
But don't see him in the bush, because he's not very different. You can see the V on his head there. You see the V there. So don't. People send photographs in. I'm on a snake and snake bite channel here. People send photos in of snakes that they find, and please ID. The experts leave you alone for a while and let you carry on. But those experts are sitting there with that book now, and they're paging.
Whereabouts was it?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
You got bitten by Ace? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. That's the letter.
Stiletto, yeah. They are easy now.
Because that's a sign with biting.
It's a little,
isn't it?
yes, it's a snake that you can't handle. Mostly get bitten by, or snake catchers get bitten by.
Where
Where is it? There's an insipid looking black thing, man. Because I don't really know. No, it'll be a red snake. It's got a white bottom.
What's it called again? What did you say?
Burrowing adder, or I think it is called a stiletto already.
Yeah, here it is. Southern stiletto?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Now the head and neck of that, I'm going to show you pictures again of black snakes that we get here. Because every black snake's a mamba in this place. And no mamba is black. I haven't seen a black mamba yet. They're grey or brown.
Sorry, I know you. I'm going back now to that. So that's not a deadly one, but that's the one that. So you still went to hospital though?
Oh yes, yeah. No, it's poisonous.
Yeah,
If I leave it, I can die.
Oh, would you?
Oh yes, no. If I think it bites me and I carry on walking around, I'll die.
Yeah, okay.
Classified
Hang on,
very dangerous.
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
When I say the black mamba, the two cobras, and the boomslang are the deadly ones,
Yeah.
if that buffalo bites you and you carry on, you're going to die. No, it's just that your time period to die is a lot shorter with the black mamba and the cobra. They are deadly snakes, believe me, if you just leave it. But who's going to be stupid enough to just leave it? You know?
Yeah, the black mamba, I think they name it from its mouth. Cause it's
That's where it comes from, yes. They're actually trying to change the name now.
Black mamba sounds what it is,
So now
very
we that
dangerous.
snake there, but you said it's the first time you've been bitten catching a snake.
Yeah.
Did you like get a panic in you, or like be honest,
not
or
really.
did your heart
No.
like?
I know, I got
You
more
know
of
what was happening?
When I was called out, the lady that was there actually got bitten by that snake. So they called me out to identify it. So when I saw what it was, I said to her, you better get to the hospital. Nothing can kill me, I'm an onkruid man.
So you both got bitten by the same snake?
Yeah.
Sure.
In the
And
same.
it got away?
Well, I let it go. I was not going to take it with me.
Sure.
I was definitely not going to take it with me. And green snakes. Alright, you guys have basically looked at the chart. I don't want to waste too much time on the chart really. You're not going to remember what you're looking at. And to take all this in an hour is not going to work. I just want to show you, I'm just going to show you two of the snakes.
And you know what the email address is?
We were talking about black snakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
These are just two snakes that we get here.
Yes. I mean, it's not
Very
common.
common purple gloss.
Hardly ever found
It's
people
black.
called Jean, and
Have a
then
look at the head. Why do you
And
think
then when I
it's
saw these,
just
it's
it's normally a black colour.
Right.
Right? That is a harmless. It's a slug.
John is
Man.
Look at that
referred to as
one.
a man.
But I didn't
Also
know
black.
that was a man or not. I was
In the book, if you read your book of the Baldwin
now I know.
stiletto, it's white underneath. That is an easy way to identify it. It is not white underneath. It can be black underneath. Again, do not identify a snake by its colouring.
Yeah, and it was John's.
That is a boomslang.
All those different colours.
All those different colours. Every single boomslang goes through that. Not goes through it. These are males and females and young and old. That is the different colours that a boomslang can be.
One's a boomslang and other's a boomslang.
Yeah. So don't think you're going to see a green snake and it's a boomslang. I have very seldom come across a green boomslang.
Spotters.
Yeah. Beautiful colours, black and yellow. Where does green come in? Yeah. Interesting, eh?
Very.
That's why I say don't try to identify a snake by its colour. Just to get back to the cobras quickly.
Blow up like a butter and he got something.
Just to get back to the cobras, the snouted cobra, the old Egyptian cobra, is the biggest cobra we get here. He can get up to 2.5 meters. That's the biggest snake we get here, besides the black mamba. Your black mamba can grow up to 4.5 meters. That's the biggest on record so far in South Africa. So your average black mamba you get around here will be about 2.5, 3 meters. To get a 4.5 meter black mamba or a 5 meter or 6 meter python nowadays, I don't know why, but they're very few and far between. Yeah, I think so.
Or the garden service kills.
Yeah, it's possible. The snouted cobra, I always call it an ugly snake. the colouring on it is very mottled, dirty. The bands on it are dirty. They look like they weren't put there, you know. Don't try and identify a spitting cobra to a snouted cobra by the bands on it on the front. You're going to fail. I failed 10 times, but I know what something else to look at. So the bands, when they explain it to you in the book, they do tell you that they'll have 2 to 3 bands. Really, you're not going to have enough time to sit there and count the bands and put the bands together. The snouted cobra, like I say, it's a greyish, mottled, not too mottled, but it always looks dirty. And it's got a yellowish bottom with the black bands. The spitting cobra, I call it a pretty snake. Each scale of the spitting cobra is black, has got a black ring around it. So it sticks out, and it's always a nice tan brown color. When I say always, I'm talking against 90% of the chance. But it's a pretty snake. If you look at the skin. I don't know how many of you have seen a brown house snake. It's also very nice, light tan brown color. The spitting cobra looks the same except for the black around the scales. And the underside of the spitting cobra tends to be more pinky color. So if he has hooded, you'll see a pinky color underneath. But then be very, very careful. There are a couple of snakes. When we finished here, then just come to the table and I'll just show something, just remind me to show you about the spitting cobra. There are snakes here that look, if you don't see the hood, you'll think that's a spitting cobra, looking at the body scales. So it's not only the spitting cobra that looks like that, it's just the easy way. If he has hooded, you'll know if it's a spitting cobra or a snouted cobra. Stand 2 meters back or go up to it and kick it in the head.
You make a mistake, it's your problem.
That's your problem, yeah.
Like parachuting.
Yeah.
Got a 50-50%.
I think from there I am basically covered everything. Is there anything else you guys would like to know? Anything that you think I've left out?
How would we know if you've left anything out?
No, like I say, 52 years of knowledge in here. I'm bound to leave something out somewhere. Like, I lay in bed last night, I thought, oh, damn it, I forgot to tell them about this. Yeah. Yesterday I showed, I can maybe do that quickly, unless we're in a hurry to go.
And do you mind us phoning you if there's a problem with a snake, Rob, at any time? Or
Anytime. While we're on that subject, if possible, take a photograph of that snake and send it to me.
Yeah.
I can identify it here before I drive. It takes me 5 to 10 minutes to get to your houses. So if I can identify it beforehand, I'll either say to you run, or I'll say to you pick the thing up and put it over there. And I'll be there in 10 minutes. You know?
Both situations will,
Yeah, what my comment would be is I'll wait.
Now, I get into quite a lot of shit here, because when you do phone me, and every phone call I get is a black mom and it's about 5 meters long. When I get there, I have caught this nylon rope, blue and white nylon rope already. I got called out in emergency to catch a nylon rope. Yeah.
Was it angry?
Oh, it was vicious, man. It took me ages. The funny thing was, the guy, I went to the house and he walked me down to the garden and he stood by the tree and he said, there it is. Now, my eyes are bush focused. If a lizard moves in that tree, I'll see it while I'm looking at you. I'm looking for specifics. Yeah. So the guy says, there it is. Now I've got my catcher and everything. I walk up to the tree and I'm looking. But at that stage I had cataract, so my eyesight wasn't that good. And I'm looking and looking. And this guy standing next to me says, there man, there. And I'm telling you, the rope was only here and I'm looking like this. I can see it's a rope. And then I said, this. Then I get called out.
Was that an old man?
Yes. Then I get called out. And the woman's, she says to me, the kids have just seen a snake go into a hole in her garden. So I said, can you just give me a brief description of it, colour-wise, so that I know what I'm dealing with. You know, do I take all my equipment down or can I just go and pick it up? Anyway, no. It's black and white with some kind of spots on it. I said, lady, we don't get snakes like that. No, it's definitely, it's in the hole, the kids are sitting there watching it. Right, I'm on my way. Go down, now it's at night. I go down there, take my torch, shine down the hole. Put my hand down the hole, grab the root. This is your snake. A tree root. So I've got one. We've got very funny snakes in this town. There's something interesting. The puff adder has got a hinged tooth, so it folds its teeth back because they are so long. It won't be able to close its jaw, so that they are hinged. So don't think if you grab a puff adder and pull his teeth out, he hasn't got teeth. He's clever. He comes with a couple of spares.
Wow, look at that. Yeah.
Neat, eh? You've got the main fan in front, and a couple of spares at the back here, just in case you pull one out or he breaks one off while attacking something.
It will come down.
It comes down again. And
No.
snakes' teeth, venomous snakes, are hollow. The venom comes out a little distance from the tip, but like I'm talking, a big tooth is 6 millimeters, so it'll be a millimeter from the tip. So being thin like me, if he bites me there, I laugh at him because the poison goes outside. But that's what it looks like basically. So the venom will come down the tooth and squirt out at the bottom. On the spitting cobras, that bottom notch is a 90-degree like that. So it protrudes the poison straight forward. That's why the wrinkles has to propel itself to get the venom to go forward, because otherwise it'll just come straight out into the ground.
You mentioned yesterday was also about handling dead snakes.
Yeah,
The risks of handling a dead snake.
a dead snake is poisonous. If you pick up a snake's fang or something like that and you inject yourself, you're not going to get poisoned by it. But preferably don't handle dead snakes. Wrinkles, fey death. I've had Egyptian cobras, back to Egyptian cobras, snouted cobras who feign death. So it's not known, I can't find any books, but I had it when I go and release the snakes, that he actually lies there as if he's dead. They are not dead. So be very careful of that. If you frighten a rinkos or a cobra, it goes and lies down. The tongue hangs out. It looks like you've stood on its head. It seriously does it. It looks like you've stood on it. But it's not dead. It waits for you to come close. So I don't know if this book gives me a picture of that.
But if you eat a snake, it wouldn't poison you then.
No.
No, people do eat other
We
snakes.
did discuss it yesterday. Going back to the spitting cobra. You see, I forgot again. The spitting cobra. If he spits in your eye, don't run to the fridge and grab milk. You're going to die. No, you're not.
Yeah, you could die depending on the milk that you drink.
Yeah, it might be solid. Any fluid. If your partner's with you, pee in his eye. Any fluid as soon as possible. You cannot go blind from spitting cobra unless you rub it in nicely and leave it for a couple of days. So wash it out with any fluid, water, that thing about milk and nonsense. Any fluid will do, and ASAP. And then an antibacterial eye drop and you're fine. You can go see the doctor, he's just going to prescribe you an antibacterial and that's it. So there is no threat of that. You could drink venom out of the snake's mouth. You can milk him and drink it. Unless you got abscesses in your mouth or an ulcer or something like that, you got a problem. When the spitting cobra spits you, and the spit is all over your face, just wipe it off with a cloth. If you've got a sore like that, you better get to hospital, because that cobra has just bitten you. Okay. So on your skin, if there's no lesions or anything, no problem. You can, I wouldn't say go and try it. I wouldn't try it. But you can drink it. It's got to be intravenous to affect you. So yeah, if it goes on your skin or anything, don't worry about it. You can just wipe it off. It's not then they don't show you the dead uncles. This is actually a very interesting book to read. It's all about snakes, snake bite, and treatment. But if you follow these rules, you're gonna die. I can promise you're gonna die. I started snake catching in 72. No, 70, 71, 72. I was dead scared. If the grass was that long, I wouldn't walk through it. And this guy, when I worked there, he realized that, and then he had snakes, and that's how I started getting interested.
Would you recommend that a person who's walking through the bush a lot get putties or odd things like that?
I'm gonna say yes. In this bush at the moment, no. There's no grass here. And a snake's not going to lie there and wait for you to step on him or near him. If you're going to walk in grasslands, besides the fact of those sheaths being snake resistant, the ticks, it keeps the ticks out. But if you're going to walk in grassland, I would recommend. If you do a lot of bushwalking, I'm not talking about going for a walk today and then next week again. No. But be wake up. That's the biggest thing. People are very lax. You know, they tend to walk around the bush here and they look at the trees and they're not lucky in the veld. There are other dangers. Your chances of getting bitten, really. Like I say, I've walked this bush flat when it was long grass, and I've never even seen a snake. It's not that dangerous. It's really not that dangerous.
So what are most snakes on the ground? What snakes are in the trees?
They're all on the ground and they're all in the trees.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The black mamba has a tendency, especially early morning, to go and bask on top of the trees, obviously getting the body temperature up. The boomsang and the twig snake are tree dwellers.
Yes.
The other snakes will go into the trees, but they also go on the ground. The boomsang too, you find him on the ground. The twig snake, you'll find him on the ground, not too often, but you will find him on the ground. There is no hard and fast rule which one stays. If you look at the book, even your book, you'll see when you look at the snake pictures, there it tells you whether it's diurnal or nocturnal, whether it's on the ground or in trees. Ground trees. 90% of them you'll see. The cobras, no, I'm not even going to say that. They all go in the trees. The adders, no. They're too fat and sluggish. But all the other snakes they will climb trees. They can climb up walls.
Into roofs?
Yes. You were asking just now about, will they climb up and go into the thatch? Yes, they will, and they do. A lot of people don't like the leghorns in their roof. There's only one way, or surefire way, to keep him out of your roof. Especially if you've got a face brick house. That far from the top, or that high from the bottom, or right in the middle of the wall, go and buy yourself 50 by 50 tiles and put a tile all the way around your house. Pick a nice color so it looks nice, and that stops leghorns, squirrels, snakes. Your roof is clean. It's going to cost you a bit of money. That's the only way to stop them. There is no other way. I've concreted mine. That leghorn, before it's dry, takes it out. There is no surefire way to do it. in one of these magazines they give you suggestions. The best one that I've seen there is a meter high, fence your house, and a meter high 80% shade cloth dug into the ground. You've got a slightly better chance of a snake not coming in. You're really not going to stop him. The cobras and the black mamba can raise their bodies a third of their body length. So a 3 meter mamba is a meter up already. And if he can get his chin on there, he's over. So there is no surefire way to secure your property.
Yeah, there is. Go live in the town.
Go live in town, yeah, that's it.
You won't believe.
Yeah, how many snakes are in town?
Victoria East. I lived there in Leeupoort for many years. You will not believe how many snakes you find in the estates in those areas. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Man has moved into their space.
Yeah.
And they still around. No, there's lots and lots of snakes.
Yeah, that's a fact. We are taking up their property and they're forced to come in. And of course there's food in there.
Yeah.
All the rodents are there. So yeah.
We originally come from Devon and we've
There's a
seen
bigger
many
chance
Oh,
of
yes.
finding a
black
snake
and green
in
ones.
Yes,
Leeupoort
yes.
Park than in
all over the show.
my opinion.
No, they are all over. And like he says, the open areas are getting less and less.
Yeah.
And with the townships, it's drawing all the rodents. So where do the snakes go? So,
And what about chameleons? Do we get them here?
yes, plenty. Plenty.
I found one in the road a while ago. Beautiful green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there are. There's quite a lot.
Stop pick him up and take him across. You can't wait for him.
Yeah.
I love chameleons.
No, I stopped and I put him into the tree.
Yeah, before someone else rides with him. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got quite a diverse amount of animals, yeah.
Tongue in the
Sorry.
cheek. Probably the best place to go and stay if you don't want snakes around you is close to where a lot of Chinese stay. Because
They eat them, yeah.
no, there's no dogs, there's no snakes. Oh, cats are in England.
Guys, I think that's about it from my side.
Thank you, Rob. It's been very interesting.
I hope it helped a little bit. Like I say, it's impossible to learn everything about snakes in one sitting like
We
this.
wouldn't remember it anyway. I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, you won't.
Yeah.
But yes, you are very welcome to phone me. There is another guy on the farm that assists me with the snakes. Donnie, I have got his number here if you'd like to take it down. Because if the snake's in the roof or out there in the tree or something, I am not going to climb up there and fetch it for you. Then you can phone Donnie. Another thing that's interesting, this ASI, if you are interested, it's an app on Facebook. You go into the app and you register with them, and then every month they send you newsletters like this. They talk about all different things, all the latest scientific knowledge that they've got. They just send out a whole lot of different things.
All around snakes and that.
All about snakes.
Okay.
Yeah. They sell all this equipment. If you're interested in getting equipment, that would be what you must get. This is more than enough. That little stick there. That is actually all you need. But I think for beginners that would be better. It's safer. You can catch him and hold him. That one you've actually got to hold the snake.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit safer.
That longer one.
Yeah, they quite. No, you get a longer one. I had a longer one. I've given it to Donnie. Donnie's got my long one now. I just find it very difficult. When I catch a snake, I bag him. So with a longer one, I can't get to the bag to put the snake in. So actually a woman just up the road here bought it for me because she's dead scared of snakes. So she bought it for me and said if she shouts I must be there first. I said, well,
Rob, what is your phone number?
072 617 7282.
7282.
Yeah. If you go on, I don't know if you've seen on Nets, Net has drawn up a list.
I think we do have.
The snake catchers be on there as well. Both mine and Donnie's names there. There's another guy, Sias. Okay guys, basically that's all I can offer you. at this stage. Any other questions? If you ever want to pop in here, feel free to do so. I'm home most days. If you got questions, you're welcome to phone me. If you got a snake at your place, try and send me a photograph. Otherwise, phone. I'll come and fetch it. All right.
Thank you.
I thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Rob is a